The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Moshood Jimoh, has declared human rights activist and convener of Revolution Now, Omoyele Sowore, wanted for allegedly instigating public disturbance in the Oworonshoki area of Lagos. Let's listen to the Lagos State Commissioner of Police. Now, speaking to journalists on Monday, the Commissioner accused Sowore of coming to Lagos to cause public disorder following the demolition of buildings by the Lagos State government as part of its urban regeneration project. He claimed Sowore had planned to mobilize protesters to block the Third Mainland Bridge, an act the police described as an attempt to obstruct traffic and cause hardship for Lagosians. Let's take a listen to the Lagos State Commissioner of Police.
At the nearest police station, I hereby, as the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Police Command, declare Sowore wanted. I declare him wanted for the act of causing disturbance of public peace and an act to commit serious felony by planning and putting all the plan in motion to obstruct traffic on the Third Mainland Bridge, to cause hardship for Lagosians and other Nigerians, and especially visitors who are transiting through this end. We will not allow this to happen. These are the equipment, and we ensure that we are closing on him. Anywhere he is, he should be aware that we are closing on him. Willant is doing video and he couldn't come down. Let him come down. He came down in Abuja. Why is he afraid to come down in Lagos? He should come down. He should come down. Wherever he is, he should report himself to the nearest police station. Because I'm going to arrest him and investigate him and prosecute him. Thank you.
Once again, sir, how many arrests so far?
Like I said earlier, we have made 13 arrests of this miscreant and hoodlum. Because there's no any reason why this protest must take place. The people who are concerned, who are residents of Oworonshoki, have been paid compensation by government for those who deserve, who are entitled rather to the compensation of the law. And the people have really peace and they've been living in the peace in the community. But it's coming to Lagos to instigate crisis, to instigate violence will not be tolerated. And I want all Lagosians to still go about their lawful businesses without any fear. Let him come down, let him put his leg on ground. He's riding in a vehicle and he's making video that police has covered everywhere and he can't come down. It's the same way police cover everywhere that I came down in Abuja. Let him come down, let him come down here and you will see the wrath of the law. That will equally...
Have it, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Moshood Jimoh, and right here in our studio, the man in the eye of the storm, convener of the Revolution Now movement, Omoyele Sowore, is right here. Good morning, and thank you so much for honoring our invitation. There's an Area G police post in Ogba here. Do you plan to declare yourself after this interview as a person of interest? And can you also tell us what transpired yesterday and why you have been declared wanted by the Lagos State Commissioner of Police?
I don't understand what the man was saying. I'm still trying to figure out what he drank yesterday. So, and this is my problem with incompetent people in office. And this is why I've waged this struggle my entire life. You're talking about areas in Lagos. I've been arrested since 1992 in almost all the areas up to F, which is First Stack. I mean, F is Ikeja. They used to call it area finish. But on a serious note, what we are discussing here is not what he's saying. You know, we have a duty.
He said he was there to instigate violence.
Yes, that's what he said. And that's not the argument. That's not the conversation. My conversation is about substance. I'm here to help fix problems afflicting poor people. You are not building houses for poor people. You don't have mass housing like even Jakonde used to have. I lived in Jakonde Estate before in my two, there's First Stack, and then suddenly none of these things are provided. People then go and find their own places, build it, and you are demolishing it with relish. And you're not demolishing and compensating or providing alternative. You are demolishing on behalf of real estate developers. So the Nigeria police, instead of protecting the public, is protecting the interests of a few. That is why the guy was so incoherent in declaring me wanted. In the first place, you have no right to declare anybody wanted without a court order. That is what our lawyers said. I'm not a lawyer. You know, I was also arrested last week in Abuja for causing public disturbance. I spent 4 days in Kuje prison because when the judge saw us on a Friday, he granted bail to us immediately. But they went into the judge's chambers and drove him away so that he would not sign.
Are you serious?
Yes, so that he would not sign our release warrant until Monday. And I settled into Kuje prison. It was while I was in Kuje prison that I heard this same loquacious Lagos State Commissioner of Police mentioning my name not to come to Lagos. How can a police commissioner tell a citizen where to go in his own country? He mentioned my name, and I immediately responded that I will come to Lagos. He thought, see, the problem with him is that he thought, having threatened me while I was in Abuja, I would not come to Lagos. So he was shocked to find me in Lagos yesterday. Despite all the forces he mobilized, I entered the community and met with the people and also addressed them. He said I didn't come down on Lagos. What do you mean by you didn't come down? I came down to Lagos. I attended to the events. You went there and attacked the people. They even tried to attack me. And I left after having made the statement. The statement I came to make in Lagos is that no Nigerian official can prevent another Nigerian from going wherever they ought to be, either to go there and live there. So he has no right to say that you have banned protesting. You can't ban protesting, impossible. Even in Abuja, they went to a federal high court judge when we were planning freeing Nnamdi Kanu and said they want them to ban me from protest. The judge told them I can't ban Sowore. They went to a federal high court judge that I cannot call the president a criminal. We couldn't start the trial. We're going back again on, I think, tomorrow. So what they're trying to do is to muzzle everybody, and they've discovered that I'm the last person they can do that to. They're just engaging in all kinds of tactics to discourage me, to silence me. I heard that his boss in Abuja, who was illegally appointed by the president, sent a squad that wherever they find me, they must shoot me aside.
Who did you hear this from?
You have my own intelligence sources. So, and that's what they did in Abuja last week when we were doing Free Nnamdi Kanu. They sent a squad after me. We relocated and successfully had a protest and shut down Abuja. So when they heard that happened, they arrested the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu. I went to the police station to bail them out. They saw me, they couldn't arrest me. After they discovered that we continued to try to get them bailed out, they now arrested me on the street in front of the Federal High Court last week. After I met Nnamdi Kanu, I posted that I met him. Took me to a magistrate in Kuje outside of Abuja. They had arranged it. And then got me to stay 4 days in prison, Kuje prison. So I think that's the script this guy wants to come and reenact in Lagos. They want to arrest me, take me before another kangaroo court and jail me. But I'm ready for them. This country either works for us or it's not going to work for us. That is a position I took a long time ago. I'm talking about 35 years ago. And that's what I tell young people. There's nobody is going to fix your country for you. Forget about, the people who say they want to help. Nobody can help you if you are not willing to help yourself. China helped itself out of poverty. India helped itself out of poverty. America helped itself out of poverty. Japan helped itself out of poverty. Nigerians are always looking for help where there is no help, That's why they are always looking in the sky. They're always praying to something. They worship anything. If prayers rose in the air, airlines will be crashing into Nigerian prayers because they pray so much because they don't want to do anything. And anybody who doesn't stand for anything will fall for everything.
Yeah. Okay. You've given us the background to all of this,
yes,
and given us some extra information as to the heart of what you're doing. But I want us to clarify a few facts. Mr. Jimoh Moshood has said that you were a part of this, in his words, that you came to Lagos to cause public disorder. Were you a part of the protest? Did you spearhead the protest in Oworonshoki?
I have been fighting for Oworonshoki people for years. We fought them over Otodogbame. we are against the demolition of homes of poor people for rich people.
Okay.
So there's no question. I'm not coming here to deny that I'm not the leader of the movement who wants to fix this country. I did Revolution Now against Buhari. I came down from the US. We were the ones who organized End Bad Governors. I was in the US. After that, in October last year, we came and did Fearless in October. I have been around in this country. My passport seized in January, and I have fought for policemen. In the course of this, I got 29,000 policemen promoted who had not been promoted for years because I did a police protest. So I have fought all kinds of battles in my life. I'm not going to sit down here and deny that, okay, oh, I didn't come. But what I'm telling you is that is not the issue. Oh, the issue is the incompetence of these guys. They are the ones causing the problem. Let me tell you. So the insecurity we have today, with Boko Haram was caused by the police. Can you believe that?
How?
Why would you say
when they killed Yusuf, extrajudicially, we were warning them in 2009. That guy was still mad. He would go and preach. That's all he did. They arrested him, detained him. They shot him at close range, killed him. That's how Boko Haram started. This same Nigeria police force. They started Boko Haram. But people have forgotten that this is the history of how police will mess things up. They are the ones who brought about NSAS upon themselves. And you still keep putting these guys in sensitive position, and you are going to get what you don't deserve. Nigeria is running helter-skelter now because Donald Trump says he wants to attack Nigeria.
And that's something that I'm hoping that we can touch on very quickly before.
It is because, do you know why Nigerians, even though it's unthinking to accept it, because they are helpless and they are happy that anybody can come and help them, even though they don't understand how America operates, which is what I wrote on Twitter. Like, you see, be careful what you ask for, but we can have that conversation, like you said, later.
The second part I wanted to ask is for them to go through the route of issuing a warrant, declaring you wanted. Was there a warrant of arrest issued? Did they reach out to you before that?
He wanted yesterday. I kept calling him. He did not answer me.
Okay, you have his number?
I have his number. I have most of their numbers. I have all this commissioner of police.
They had not tried to reach out to you before then?
No, of course. He confessed on TV that he saw me. Why didn't he arrest me? I was live.
Oh, you're live here too now?
I'm live here. You know, maybe this will be my last interview for the day. I'm ready for it. But you see, what he wanted to do was to use scare tactics to see if after declaring wanted, I'll go underground and he can dismantle his forces because he said he's been there since last Monday. Which yesterday, on their own, they used their incompetence to destabilize the state. Protest is a right. There's nobody who can outlaw protest. It's impossible. It's an international, it's fundamental human right for people to protest. And peaceful protest is even more powerful, more potent. You can't stop people from complaining after you beat them up, you demolish their houses, you destroy their means of livelihood. You say, oh, you can't protest, and you start tear-gassing them. Even some of the policemen who were tear-gassing yesterday, their families are living in the slums.
So the Commissioner of Police said those who were entitled to compensation have been compensated, so there's no need to protest.
Compensation is not what we are talking about. What is the meaning of compensation when you go and steal somebody's land that don't belong to you? If the law is that you compensate, the person you want to compensate must be willing to accept compensation. The moment he tells you that he cannot surrender what belongs to him, your compensation is useless. You can only compensate somebody who accepts that he wants to forgo what belongs to him. Then you say, okay, let's do trade by barter. For foregoing this, we pay you this certain amount. But you cannot dislocate people who are historically the owner of a land and say you have compensated. What's the meaning of compensation?
So you said they're clearing these properties for real estate.
They are doing it for real estate developers.
Who are these developers?
I heard there are some of these Lagos kings, including even the Oni of Ife was mentioned. Yes.
Sorry, come again?
Even I heard the Oni of Ife is part of people who are involved in this real estate development. What they do is that they take people's land and they give it to real estate developers who then build houses and make millions out or billions out of it.
It's called urban regeneration.
Yeah. Look, I did urban planning. 1 kilometer from that place. So nobody can tell me about urban regeneration.
But
I know what it means to have urban regeneration. You can't do urban regeneration without building new places where people will relocate to. Otherwise, you are just going to build, and the slums to keep following you wherever you go. And the competent people cannot regenerate the urban areas. They can't. People who cannot govern themselves. So what they're doing is, is a rentier system. You take land, give it to people. They do it even in GRA here. They'll take land, they'll build it. The real estate people, they'll collect part of it and it belongs to them. It's these are self-serving politicians. It's not urban regeneration.
But Lagos is known to have major issues of gentrification. You have houses, you also have. Could it be that because of the fact that there was a gentrification thing going on there, so they had to ensure that they clear those properties? And I mean, I'm just trying to see reasons why they carried out that.
You see, when you want to develop new urban areas, you go to places where there's adequate land, and Lagos has quite a number of them. And then you move people to new housing. That's where you call, that's urban housing. When people have new available houses, even better than the one they are staying before, you can go back and clear the old place. You can then go and
you
give
make
them
provisions.
Oh, you make provisions for them. But you can't go and dislocate people who have lived for years in a place, who are making ends meet. They have nowhere to go. That is not urban, that's urban wickedness.
So how do we then analyze that vis-a-vis Section 1 of the Land Use Act that bestows the land on the governor? Because that may be an argument that will be put forward that all lands belong to the governor, who holds it in trust for the Nigerians.
We have stated that the Land Use Act itself is a violation of fundamental rights. It was introduced by the military. What is it still doing in our constitution? It was introduced by Obasanjo. What is it? Even the people in Lagos that you're talking about are violating the Land Use Act. They are collecting federal government land and properties that has been abandoned, or they claim are abandoned, and converting it to their own use. What if the federal government comes around and says, oh, it's our land, we have right over the Land Use Act? They themselves don't accept the Land Use Act whenever they want land for themselves. They violate it. These Lagos landlords and politicians, everybody understand what the game they are playing. What we're saying is very clear. If you want to do urban regeneration, do mass housing or mixed income housing, rich and poor living together, then you can ask people to, but you cannot dislocate people. They have nowhere to go. And everybody understands in Lagos that housing is priced beyond and above an average person. Even somebody who has a fairly good job can't afford housing in Lagos. Then throw more people on the streets in Lagos from lands that they have lived in, what we call ancestral lands. People who are fisher people. You can't just go and dislocate them with tear gas.
I mean, the Lagos state residents have right, even if the governor owns or holds the land, it doesn't have
you can't have federal power.
Yes,
your power cannot have anything to do with dislocating people.
Now, just before we begin to wrap up this conversation, let's move to the biggest conversation in the country right now. And your reaction has also sparked a lot of interest on social media. These are unprecedented times. We've never had a country threaten our territorial integrity and existence in that manner. President Donald Trump's tweet to Nigeria saying, the now disgraced Nigeria, that we should fix up. He threatened military intervention. And you released a post on X. I'm not sure if our producers have that post. It would be nice to have it up. But the essence of your tweet was you stood as a Nigerian, first and foremost, and you said, look, American intervention in other places has never resulted in anything good. And it led to a lot of backlash. There were people that said, well, are you not supposed to be against the government? Or you must have been compromised. Could you tell us the spirit of that tweet, and if you're going to also retract your position?
It was Winston Churchill that said those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. I want to make it clear. I wasn't speaking as a patriot. I'm not the kind of patriotic Nigeria that you would, I don't belong in that category. I wasn't defending the government. what I'm defending is the integrity of the Nigerian person. And you will notice that most of the people who are opposed to this Donald Trump position are people who lived in the US, because we understand the game better than people who are at home. People are just here jubilating over an instantaneous intervention by an outsider, Donald Trump for that matter, who doesn't even know where Nigeria is located. If you show Nigeria to Donald Trump on the world map, I don't think he knows it. He has never been here before. He was supposed to come to a wedding of his daughter in Nigeria. He said he cannot go to a shithole because, you know. So when people don't understand that, and that this Donald Trump we are talking about doesn't even care about your own black people in his own country. So to think that Donald Trump is going to come here and save you is, I cannot even imagine that you have that many people in Nigeria who cannot think for themselves, that the salvation of this country is going to come from within when we are serious. Because if Donald Trump helps you to defeat Boko Haram, if he did, who is going to help you defeat kidnappers? Who's going to help you defeat farmers or Fulani? And when Donald Trump is gone, what happens next? And let me tell you, we had the excitement during Bring Back Our Girls. All the American celebrities, Obama's wife, Bring Back Our Girls, P. Diddy, the girls, some of them are still in captivity. Are you getting my point? So what we're saying is that, look, start looking at what, the countries that have succeeded today, who are prosperous, who are united in any way, who are making progress, are countries who decided that, we want to restore our dignity. So you must have that epiphany, that, aha moment where you say, look, we can't keep relying on other people to help us. Because I think if we are not waiting for Donald Trump, we are waiting for the second coming of Jesus Christ to provide light, provide roads for us. So I want to let people snap out of that lethargic state in which they are always
but they're
lazily
saying this out of a sense of hopelessness, that the political class has continuously failed them and failed
that's exactly the position.
To protect
that's
the lives of Nigerians.
What Donald Trump should have done, or anybody in the world should have done, is to cite Nigeria for the failure to protect. The failure to protect as a doctrine applies actually to parents, mostly, who refuse to act as parents, and maybe their children get into
social services.
Yes, and then people will go and take your child away from you. That is where Nigeria is. But that failure to protect includes protection of Muslims and Christians alike. Where people don't understand my position coming from is that if we are fighting Boko Haram, we must defend Muslims who are also victims and Christians. And we must also defend those who are unreligious, who are also being persecuted sometimes by Christians and Muslims alike. Wasn't it in Akwa Ibom one time that a woman who is a bishop was driving nails into the head of children?
Yeah.
Is that not failure to protect under Akpabio's government? So as somebody who has a sense of history, as somebody who understands what America is about and what their external interest is about, or their foreign policies are about, we can say to you that you're just wasting your time thinking that salvation will come from there. The same America that you are inviting and celebrating to come here was the one supplying bombs to Israel to kill Palestinians. Why can't we think that if they really love the world
and preventing and providing diplomatic cover
for
and vetoing calls for ceasefire.
Okay. So these are the things I, like every one of you, condemns bad leadership. Everybody know my position about that. So that you don't get it wrong that maybe my position in some way provides support for the ruling government. No. Okay. I want them to be gone yesterday because of their failure to protect the people of Nigeria. But I am not doing it in such a way that I'm foolish to think that America will come and save you. America has never saved any country. The guy they were against in Syria is now the president of Syria. The Taliban, they fought for almost a decade. They are back in power. You know what they did in South Africa. You know what they did elsewhere. So they're not coming to save you. They don't have a policy in place, especially the Trump administration, to save a black person.
Okay, let's talk about Nigeria
Yes.
now, and let's come back to...
But that doesn't exclude or excuse
Bad
the
behavior,
laziness of these leaders. But I'm saying Nigerians, rise up against your leaders, yourself, so that when you clean out the place, that's why I support a revolution. Nobody will come from outside to say, well, now that we have helped you, can we take your oil or your diamond or whatever you have, or can we enslave you again? Even our forefathers are better than us. The Obanugbaisi Oworonshokii of Benin fought against white people. There was a battle in Akasa, I think it's in the current Bayelsa or River State, where they clashed with Lord Lugard and his people over the ability to sell palm oil. Do you think those people didn't know that these people have intentions? People came and carried you as slaves several miles and, have done colonization. They have done Cold War. You're expecting that they'll come and save you. Right. And everybody's on Twitter, oh, let America come. Let America come. Okay, what if America doesn't come?
Okay, let's now talk about Nigeria and talk about you and what the next steps are. So it's a two-fold question as quickly as you can. The updates regarding the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest case and what the next steps are for you from here. Are you going to the police station, or what should we expect? I
thought you guys said there's a police station around here.
Yes.
Yeah, area G, Ogba.
Do you think those ones can handle my case? Maybe. No, my lawyers we're going to handle that. We've discovered that the Lagos State Police Commission has no right to declare me wanted. In fact, we are preparing to sue them for defamation of character and a violation of my fundamental rights. But they are at liberty to do what they usually do, stupid things. They can arrest me, and we'll take it from there. I'm not new to this, so I declared on my Facebook page yesterday. I was declared wanted for the first time by the police in 1994. That's like almost 30 years ago. And what was it? I was fighting against cultism at the University of Lagos, and they didn't like it, and they ganged up against me. After I was declared wanted, I was expelled from the university. But the guy who declared me wanted was James Dambaba, who was CP of Lagos at that time. He died a miserable death. He was one of the people arrested with Mustafa for supplying weapons that killed Kudirat Abiola and also shot Alex Ibro. So anytime you see this happening, there's a deeper issue behind it. And that is why I can't wait, whatever it takes, that we fix this country. Because we can't continue like this.
Okay. And then the update regarding the Free Nnamdi Kanu case?
Well, we've done what has opened up to the nation the need to discontinue the sham trial. And I think the country has come to the realization that it's a sham trial. They also have started having some conversation. They claim it's political resolution. I think it forced onto the national stage a massive injustice that is done by using the judiciary against a Nigerian. And I would say to people, for people who clamor for national unity, there are low-hanging fruits. One of it is, Nnamdi Kanu, we free him, we de-escalate that tension, So, because without resolving that issue, you are not going to, even if the court tomorrow convicts Nnamdi Kanu, you are still going to have to free him because you already admitted that it's a contentious issue. So that's the problem. And but these people, they bring problem to every solution. We bring solution to their problems.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sowore, for speaking with us this morning. And we hope that you would resolve the issue with the Lagos CP anytime soon.
I hope they remove the CP before I get out of here. He's incompetent.